Now it's time for our Wellness Wednesday segment. Today we're talking about setting big goals and how to connect with all of your wants, your needs, your desires. Joining us now is our spiritual coach, Michelle Barr. Always good to see you. Hello.
Hello. This is really an important one because it's the thing that derails people the most is the minute you start setting these big goals and big intentions and going for your dreams and your needs, wants, and desires, everything that is not in alignment with that comes up to be cleared, healed, and resolved because you can't take it with you where you're going. And people often then say, God said, no, it's not the right time. Nothing ever works out for me. And that's when you have to stay focused on where you're going and clear, heal, and resolve. It's actually part of the process. And it means you're moving things in your life going toward what you want. And everything you want is on the other side of it.
So, in layman's terms, that could mean when you feel like you have set a goal or you are getting close to something that you really want, then suddenly it seems like everything starts to go wrong. And you're saying that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right, because it's showing you it's the meat for the transformation. You're not getting the results you want right now because you're not a match to them, and you're becoming the person who can be that and do that and have that. And you're actually being shown what's coming up to be cleared, but sometimes it feels like it comes out of left field. Like I'm over here building my dream business and now my mother stuff is coming up, or now I'm having fights with my best friend, things like that come up. They're showing you patterns that need to be cleared, healed, and resolved within you. And that's where the work comes in. And people get stuck in a ditch, they get derailed, and they don't stay focused, and they don't want to do that inner work because it can be painful, it can be challenging.
People say, oh, it's a sign, it's a sign. So how do you know what you should be paying attention to? How do you know when it's time to dig your heels in and really stay, not in the fight, because I don't want to attach negative wording to it, but stay on the path that you're on?
Yes, because you don't want to get into resistance and fight it. You want to do more. It's this surrender to, I believe everything counts and everything matters. So I've trained myself, whatever shows up, the minute I start shifting and transforming and going for what I want and need, everything that shows up is feedback for me, and then I start learning to see the patterns. So even you're working on something and somebody out of the blue connects with you that you have unresolved issues with, or a money issue shows up, you've got to start looking, it's all part of the whole, and what needs to be cleared, healed, and resolved. These are patterns and habits of thoughts, behaviors, and action or inaction.
It could even be personality traits or things that maybe you have a tendency to do that maybe those habits no longer serve you moving forward. If your goal is to, let's say you want to get this big promotion, but you are, as you're moving towards that, maybe the person who gets in office confrontations, and then you're on the right track, right? Something shows up and it's more about, or you tell me, is it more about seeing how you respond? Are you going to make a different choice? Are you going to prove that you are ready to be this boss over here that you're saying that you want to be? Or are you going to go back to the old self and let them know who's really in charge? You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. It's a great example. In times of stress, we default into patterns and habits. And so you're not only attracting people into your life to keep playing those things out with you, you're also doing things that no longer serve you. I catch myself all the time wanting to react in old ways that I know very well have not served me, but my brain wants to run down that well-worn path and do it again, and I have to consciously choose new thoughts, feelings, and actions.
How do you catch yourself in the moment? Is it anything deeper than taking a deep breath and saying, okay, if this is my goal, how would this person respond? Is there something else we can be doing and saying? Any mantras?
Yeah, especially when you realize you're getting charged. There's one thing to respond from a neutral place or a positive place. It's whenever negative things are getting charged up inside of you, you know it's your own stuff as well as what's going on. So you take a moment and you want to start learning to respond instead of react. So you've got to get a hold of yourself and check yourself before you respond. Sometimes that means don't make those impulsive, in the moment reactions until you've given yourself a minute to assess it.
Great advice, as always. Thank you so much.
Thank
You
you.
can follow Michelle Barr and get more tips from her by going to her website, michellebarr.com.